Senators in the Albuquerque-based 1st Congressional District are going to choose a replacement for Deb Haaland, who vacated the seat to become Secretary of the Interior under Joe Biden. So this is a special election that's going to happen tomorrow, June 2nd, 2021. Now, who is the Democrat who's likely to win? Her name is Melanie Stansbury, and she's pledged support for Medicare for All. She wants a federal assault weapons ban. She's for D.C. statehood. She wants to cancel student loan debt, and she's for the marijuana legalization at the federal level. So, New Mexico, Melanie Stansbury, out of all the candidates, I like her best. I don't know if there's even any progressive besides the Democrat, and this would be awesome. This would be exciting. This would be rejuvenating. Well, we're going to cancel student loan debt. We're going to legalize marijuana in America. What about D.C.? We're going to, include the capital into the United States. A federal assault weapons ban, Medicare for all. We're going to get universal health care. Now, they're going to throw her, she's a communist, right? That's what they're going to say about her. That's what the fucking right-wing always does. Whether you're a goddamn right-wing Republican like Joe Biden or, a Bernie Sanders, you're a communist either way to them. They don't fucking know the difference. So, Melanie Stansbury, she's not a communist. They're doing the same shit in Peru against that Pedro Castillo. And why? Just because he wants to nationalize, the oil and the... So he actually is more liberal. He wants to nationalize the mining and the... Anyways, okay, so New Mexico, vote for Melanie Stansbury. Vote for Melanie Stansbury. Now, it's most likely she's going to win. It's a heavily Democratic district, the 1st Congressional District of New Mexico. Joe Biden won it by 23 points. Hillary took it by 17 points. Democrat Deb Haaland, now the Secretary of the Interior, had won the district by 16 points in her 2020 re-election campaign. So you have State Representative Melanie Stansbury, a Democrat, considered the favorite in the special congressional election. The other candidates is you have Libertarian Chris Manning, you have Aubrey Dunn, a former Republican state land commissioner who's running as an independent, and 2 write-in candidates have been certified, Laura Olivas and Robert Ornelas. So Mark Moores is the Republican. So besides the Republican, you got Chris Manning, a Libertarian, Aubrey Dunn, a former Republican, running as an independent, and then you have Laura Olivas and Robert Ornelas, and Robert Ornelas was associated with the American Independent Party. So those are the 2 write-ins. You got 2 independents, 2 write-ins, Republican, and a Democrat. Now, Democrats make up 47% of the district, and Republicans make up 28%, and this district has remained in Democratic control since 2009. The district includes Bernalillo County, all of Torrance County, parts of Sandoval, Santa Fe, and Valencia counties. So that's the 1st Congressional District. New Mexico, vote for Stansbury. Melanie Stansbury, special election tomorrow. Go out, go vote. Now, Mark Moores, not more, it's plural. So it's like there's a whole bunch of them. There's Mark Moores. There's only one Mark Moore. So one Mark Moore, this is Stansbury's biggest rival. Mark Moore has launched an aggressive campaign that portrays Melanie Stansbury as a radical progressive who's expressed support for a proposal that calls for, among other things, closing federal detention facilities within 10 years. Mark Moore, he played college football. So there you go. Isn't that all you need to know? He played college football and he hates them damn commie, Democrats, even if they're conservative Republicans. Early voting has already ended. Saturday, Democrats were beating the Republicans. So as of, this is according to the Secretary of State's office, as of Friday morning, over 77,000 ballots had been cast and 45,000 ballots went to registered Democrats and 22,000 went to were from registered Republicans, which means twice as many Democrats have voted than Republicans. So Melanie Stansbury is probably already winning by more than double. Now, Mark Moore, like I said, it looks, sounds just like Peru's Fujimori, Princess Corruption. He's saying the Democrats have gone so far left. He labeled Stansbury a radical, would fit right into the AOC wing of the party, and that's supposed to be like a cuss word. I mean, Mark Moore, you're just making Melanie Stansbury sound like a fucking badass. She's a radical. I like radical. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, radical, man. Right? Pizza's radical. Justice is radical. Medicare for all is radical. And, anyway, Stansbury declared that we need to pass the Breathe Act, and he made a big deal about this, right? The Breathe Act, isn't that a very smart name, Breathe Act? So, Washington, D.C., they're considering the Breathe Act. It's a police reform proposal that would divest federal resources from incarceration and policing. He's saying that they're trying to get rid of all the federal jails in 10 years. Incredible, right? The Breathe Act. Under Donald Trump, I could not breathe. This is, what George Floyd had said and Eric Garner had said. How many times you got to say you can't breathe to a motherfucker before the, humanity kicks in? Fucking right-wing, goddamn fascist Nazi fucks. Oh, you can't breathe? Who gives a shit? They're going to just stay on your neck until you fucking choke to death. So she said it over and over again, but apparently she's kind of running away from it because he's trying to make a big deal about it. She voiced support for it in a tweet at an April forum hosted by the New Mexico Black Voters Collaborative. She also said that she supported the Breathe Act. So good. Melanie Stansbury, on top of all those other great things, she's also opposed to police brutality. So, who would be in favor of police brutality? Well, apparently, that Moores guy. What was that? That fucking football player? Mark Moores. So, last week was 1 year. This is what she said recently. Last week, this Melanie Stansbury, the 1 year anniversary of the George Floyd murder, last week was, and we still haven't passed federal legislation to address the systemic racism that affects the safety and well-being of people in our community, she said. We have to pass federal legislation. We need to pass the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. We need to end qualified immunity at the federal level. We need to bring federal resources home to New Mexico to invest in health, economic development, and in the well-being of our communities. So I think they're just attacking that whole, defund the police thing, which is keep the police, but divest and spend. Police can't solve all the problems. How are they going to solve homelessness? Just lock them up? That's not a long-term solution. So on mental health, my God, the police are probably the worst people you should send out to a mental health case. So fantastic. Melanie Stansbury is opposed to police brutality, and that fucking Republican is not, right? So typical fascist Republican, right? Radical comedy. Look what she's doing, just like AOC. Cops do wrong all the time, and to deny otherwise only proves that you're a fascist, low-life piece of shit. You think if a man, a human, a homo sapien puts on a fucking hat and a badge, he can't do no wrong? Or maybe because you're a fascist fuck, and you identify with other fascist fucks. Maybe that's what it is. You fascist, low-life piece of shit. So New Mexico now has same-day voter registration. So New Mexico, when you go to vote for Melanie Stansbury, if somebody says, well, I'm not registered to vote. Oh, I can't vote. I don't, you can vote the same day that you register. Go tomorrow, register, and then vote. That means a person who's not registered at all but wants to vote could show up at a polling place, register, and vote on the same day. Voters in New Mexico actually can switch their party registration on the same day if they so choose. I don't want to be a Democrat. I'm going to be a Republican now. Which actually, if it's not the primary, it doesn't matter, right? That should be okay. So on Thursday, Melanie Stansbury was joined on the campaign trail by Doug Emhoff, the husband of Vice President Kamala Harris. Doug Emhoff's appearance followed Joe Biden's endorsement of Stansbury. Polling locations will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday. Here's a little biography for Melanie Ann Stansbury, born January 31st, 1979. So she's 3 years older than me. An American politician, scientist who has been the New Mexico state representative from the 28th district since 2019. She's a Democratic nominee in the state's 2021 U.S. House special election. Melanie Ann Stansbury was born in Farmington, New Mexico, raised in Albuquerque. After graduating from Cibola High School, earned a BA in Human Ecology, Natural Science from St. Mary's College of California in 2002. Melanie Stansbury then earned a Master of Science in Development Sociology with a minor in American Indian Studies from Cornell University in 2007, where she was a PhD candidate. Melanie Stansbury, she's for Medicare for All, Federal Assault Weapons Ban, D.C. Statehood, canceling student debt, legalizing marijuana, and she's opposed to police brutality. Melanie Stansbury lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Go vote tomorrow and vote for Melanie Stansbury. Don't vote for Mark Moores. Don't vote for Mark Moores. Vote for Melanie Stansbury. Same day registration. You ain't got any. You didn't register. Doesn't matter. You can go fucking vote. Any and everybody in the 1st Congressional District can go vote. Unless you don't have gas money or some shit. But you can register the same day, so you don't have any more excuses. You don't have no excuses. Oh, you're not registered. Doesn't matter. Get in the car. We're going to go vote. So hell yeah. Hopefully by the end of tomorrow we'll hear that Melanie Stansbury has been elected a brand new Congresswoman from New Mexico. And that's it. That's what else is there to say? Peace, love,